Welcome to Unit 7, Diana.
Welcome, Susanna, and welcome to all of you.
So in this unit, we will be talking about how to create a healing environment for yourself from the patient perspective if you are a patient, or if you're not a patient, if you're just somebody like all of us in need of a healing environment under lots of different circumstances, then
right.
you can insert yourself for patient or for whatever, your name.
Great.
Anyway, Diana is creating a couple of wonderful PowerPoint movies again. Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk about them briefly, or shall we just...
Sure. There's only two this week. The first just talks about the body's healing environment and how none of us are in isolation. So what does that look like from the cell on out? And then if we are in this environment, and each of us are in a very unique one, then how do we make the most of it? How do we recruit the kinds of resources we do, create the kinds of relationships that we need, ask for help when we need it, and ask it in a way that people are willing to give it to us? So that's really the work of this unit. Next unit, we'll talk about this healing relationship from the point of view of the caregiver. But this is just from the point of view of you, the individual.
Mm-hmm. So there are lots of left brain exercises and readings, as you know, and then we also know that getting things from the left brain to the right brain to the more artistic emotional piece can be very, very healing as well. So we're asking you to do a couple of visual representations, and I can imagine that for some of you, you have this clutching inside. Oh no, I don't want to draw. I don't want to do anything artistic because I'm not an artist. Mm-hmm. So rest assured that we're not asking you to do something that you feel uncomfortable with. But it can be really wonderful to, in terms of using different ways of symbolizing, not just using words, but using images as well. Mm-hmm. So doing a collage it can be really useful. Drawing a picture can be really useful. And creating a diagram might also be really useful. So we have a little show and tell that Diana is going to share with you.
Yeah, we're suggesting in your toolkits that you do two of these. One would be a collage. My favorite thing to do is to just go to the internet, type something in, click on images, and then stare at what I resonate with. Mm-hmm. And then just cut and paste them into some document. It could be a PowerPoint, it could be a Word doc, it could be, whatever you're comfortable in using. And make yourself a collage. If you're an artist, just draw it, right? But for those of us who aren't, mm-hmm. that's a good alternative of any environment that you find healing. Now, we're primed by advertisers, by cruise ship owners, by travel agents to have only very specific types of places in mind, mm-hmm. right? It's the beach and the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. But healing, of course, takes place everywhere. So for you, it may be a corner of your backyard. It might be that particular patch of lawn in a park. It doesn't always have to be the big vacation.
It could be contemplating a bug.
It could be really getting in touch with your inner bug. So that's the first one. And then the second one is about the inner circle. So who is it that is around you as you get better, or really as we live our lives? So who's your inner circle? And then take a moment to think about what is the nature of your relationship with everybody in that circle. Again, if you're an artist, you can take that wonderful places. But if you're not, like me, this is how simple it could be. So here's a drawing of me, or you, in the center, with all the different people that you would consider part of your inner circle. And just very intuitively taking advantage of that System 1 intuitive thinking that we got to learn more of in earlier units, just put, I have two colors, right? Green and pink, it could be red and something. I just put what I love about this relationship. I love that we can touch and that it feels good. So a plus and touch. This one, I love that we laugh. That's always a net gain when I'm with that person, because that laughter is always positive. But 3 and 4, well, those relationships are a little dicier. She's really needy. I don't always feel like I come out on the right side of the equation. This one is so critical. I don't feel nurtured in this environment. And 5, you'll just have to guess for yourself what that one is. I think our challenge when we are very sick, I'll just back up a second. Most of the time in our lives, we accommodate this. It could be that these are children, and you are the caregiver, and you give it willingly, even if it's a difficult relationship. But when you're sick, the tables start to turn, and you might be the one who's always given, and it might be your turn to receive. And you may discover that some relationships don't help you in that as much as others do. Now, some of those relationships you may nevertheless have, particularly if they're close family. So then the challenge is to ask yourself, what needs to change in this? What could I ask? How could I ask it that could turn this relationship into something that is healing for us all? Because at the end of the day, this kind of work benefits everybody.
So there's a lot of really close observation happening, and to be ready for surprises, acknowledging that what has always worked for you under different circumstances may not work right now, and that there are differences in temperament, that extroverts may need to create a much fuller healing environment than introverts do. So if this healing environment isn't dotted with dozens of people, but maybe with some pets that you have, or with the memories of important people in your life who may not be there anymore, then that's okay too.
Absolutely. And you mentioned pets. It's not just people. What is a healing environment? Could be a room. It could be a color. It could be sound. It could be the need for you to escape someplace out of a very busy life. So put in that outer circle what you believe you need in your environment. And if you feel like you're close to it, but you need something else, then this is a great time to just look at things in your life freshly and see what kind of creativity you can come out of. It's easy, particularly when we feel sick and tired and fatigued, to feel stuck in it. And yet I found that the energy that came from such a dire diagnosis actually freed and broke and shook up in beautiful ways many relationships.
Right, yes. It leaves one open to examine those long-held assumptions that we just take for granted, and to turn those upside down, to just like you turn soil over.
That's right.
Which airs out what has been really firm before, and lets us look at the bugs and the worms that come up with a turning over the soil. Can really bring beginner's mind a newness to the situation.
That's right.
So bring that to this unit as you draw, sing, dance, take pictures, and look at your relationships.
Excellent. We have a video and a meditation that are both called The Large Universe. And they're meditations and practice that I used every day after I learned them because they help you connect to resources outside of yourself. For me, it was water and sunlight. Simple as that. But I found it so soothing to feel like there was something else I could draw from.
Yeah. So a very rich unit, and we'll leave you to it and enjoy.
Thanks.
Thank you, Diana.
We look forward to seeing what you come up with.